Welcome back to the Explainer, everyone. Grab your notes because today we're diving straight into a super practical, absolutely must-know topic for your upcoming exam: mastering days sales and inventory. We're going to get you completely ready to tackle this. Here's our game plan for today. We'll start by defining days in inventory. Look at the formula and calculation. Talk about interpreting the results, and wrap up with those common exam mistakes you definitely want to avoid. All right, Section 1, defining days in inventory, the core concept. When you sit down on exam day, true conceptual understanding absolutely beats rote memorization. So let's get perfectly clear on what this metric actually is. Days sales and inventory is simply the average number of days inventory is held before it's sold. Basically, it measures the efficiency of a company's inventory management. Think of it like a ticking clock, starting the exact second goods hit the warehouse and stopping the moment they're sold. It literally tells you how long your company's capital is just sitting there on the shelves. Now, here's a huge distinction, and candidates mix this up all the time. On one side, we've got inventory turnover. That's measured in times per year. How many times you replenish and sell your entire stock. But on the flip side, days sales and inventory is strictly measured in days held. You've got to read the exam questions super carefully. Are they asking you for times, or are they asking for days? It's a subtle trap, but you won't fall for it. Moving right along, Section 2, the formula and calculation, doing the math. The math here? It's actually incredibly straightforward. It's just a simple two-step process. Step 1, you start with the days in the period as your numerator. Usually, that's 365 days, but keep a close eye on your exam prompt. Test makers might explicitly tell you to use 360 days for simplicity, or maybe 300 to represent business days. Just use whatever they give you. Then, step 2, you simply divide those days by the inventory turnover. So the formula is exactly that: days divided by inventory turnover. Easy, right? Let's ground this in a real-world scenario from the text. 17.6 days. We're going to use this specific number as our anchor to really understand the calculation. So how do we actually get to that 17.6? Well, for the current year calculation, we use that constant numerator of 365 days and divide it by an inventory turnover of 20.7 times. Boom, 17.6 days. Now compare that to the prior year. Back then, the company had a higher inventory turnover of 23.4 times. Divide 365 by 23.4 and you get 15.6 days. So you can clearly see the days tied up in inventory actually went up from 15.6 to 17.6. And this brings us to a massively important conceptual rule. I like to call it the seesaw effect. Because the numerator, the days in the year, is constant, there's a direct inverse relationship between turnover and days. Think of a literal seesaw. When inventory turnover falls, the days in inventory rise. One goes down, the other goes up. If you keep this seesaw visual in your head, you can honestly eliminate wrong multiple choice answers in seconds, sometimes without even touching your calculator. Next up, Section 3, interpreting the results, the business scenario. Look, doing the raw math is only half the battle. Exam questions love to test if you actually know what these numbers mean for the business. Let's look back at our scenario. Our company's days in inventory climbed from 15.6 days to 17.6 days. But here's the vital context from the source. This is happening while sales are actually growing. Net sales jumped from $1.4 million up to $1.8 million. So the million-dollar question is, why on earth did the days in inventory go up if sales are booming? Well, it's actually exactly because they're in a period of growing sales. To keep up with all that new customer demand, management had to proactively build up their inventory levels. And when you massively build up your inventory stock, which, remember, is the denominator in your turnover calculation, you mathematically lower your turnover rate. And what happens then? Cue the seesaw. A lower turnover rate mathematically forces the days sales and inventory to rise. It all connects beautifully. Okay, final stretch. Section 4, common exam mistakes. Don't fall for the traps. I've really got to sound the warning bell here because test makers absolutely love to prey on a few specific misconceptions. Here's a big one. Does a higher number of days in inventory always mean the business is failing or just poorly managed? A lot of people reflexively think, oh, more days sitting in a warehouse, that's got to be bad news. But is it? Absolutely not. The text makes this super clear. It explicitly states this is a common phenomenon during a period of increasing sales and so is not necessarily a sign of poor inventory management. Building up inventory, which naturally leads to higher days in inventory, can be a really strategic, positive move when a company is growing fast. It just means they're gearing up to fulfill a ton of future orders. All right, let's lock in these top exam traps so you can dodge every single one of them. Number 1, do not mix up turnover and times with sales and inventory in days. Number 2, do not assume more days automatically equals failure. Like we just saw, it totally depends on the context. And number 3, whatever you do, don't ignore that context. The text points out that increased days in inventory can happen during declining sales, sure, like if obsolete stock is just collecting dust, but it also happens during growing sales when a company is dynamically building up its inventory. You've got to read the whole scenario. Before we wrap up this explainer, let's step back and look at the whole picture. Days sales and inventory, our 17.6 days here, it doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's really just one piece of a bigger puzzle. It combines with days sales outstanding in receivables, which is 23.9 days in this example, to form the company's full operating cycle of 41.5 days. That operating cycle is the total time from acquiring the inventory to finally collecting the cold, hard cash from selling it. Understanding how days in inventory fits right into that broader cycle is totally key to mastering activity ratios overall. So, we've hit the definition, the formula, the awesome seesaw effect, the real-world business interpretation, and the sneaky traps test makers are going to try to set for you. My final question for you is this: how will you use these clues to completely decode your next exam scenario? Take a deep breath, trust the math, remember the context, and walk into that testing center with absolute confidence. You are going to crush this.